Hey there, Chiquita Bananas. What is going on? This is definitely a series. The last two readings definitely made me understand that this is like the big guns sort of lessons, big giant spiritual life lessons happening. And today it's finally showing me more how it's showing up, at least for some of you. And boy, I mean, the players are on the table. This is hands down. Well, I'm going to say there's two separate interpretations that I'm going to give you. One, if you are in a relationship that you're experiencing some frustration, some disconnect, some distance, some angst, whatever, I'm going to cover that first. But if some of you are just feeling angst over a certain politician, let's say, especially if you're in the States, actually anywhere in the world, and that is really creating some challenges, some instability, some fears, I'm going to cover that next. So, and honestly, I think a lot of you are probably going through that, whether you're even conscious of it or not. You probably are very conscious of it. So let's just start with the relationships. You've got in your current energy, you've got this King of Wands, and he's in reverse. And what's happening behind the scenes is that you are in reverse, because they are, my guides are shining kind of a spotlight on this card, meaning that this represents you, regardless of if you're male or female watching this. You are, at least in this situation, holding more of the feminine energy. And your partner, this could be a parent, could be a boss, an annoying neighbor, but likely this will resonate in a love relationship sort of setting. And it's so interesting. I have not had one fly in my house all summer. And there's one that just the minute I started talking decided to come and fly right here. And I have had very interesting, I'll tell you about that some other time, but very interesting things happen with very high level guides linked to flies. So anyway, I'm kind of amused. Sort of let's just say it's another confirmation that there's some big stuff going on, and that is so exciting. So I know it's frustrating when you're in the midst of it. Let's see if I can help clarify what your steps need to be, and also how to handle what this person is going through, because these are separate people. So this person being out of whack. This person, normally, their nature should be fiery and confident and bold and, creative, might do things spontaneously, have a lot of energy. But when they get in reverse, and the fact that we're clarifying this with the Ace of Wands reversed, this person is going through a bit of, could be a midlife crisis, could just be something's getting triggered and really kind of throwing them off their core game. But as this is happening, it's triggering something for you. There's this instability happening for you. And it does feel that, this is also fascinating. This does feel like it could be, for some of you, affecting your career or finances, and that it's distracting you from that. And we've got to get you back on track to taking care of yourself. Before I even pulled cards, I saw the Bagua map. If you don't know what that is, not a big deal at all. But I have a feng shui background, and my guides will use symbols from feng shui sometimes. But they really highlighted the relationship quadrant. So I already knew we were going to have something around that happening. But what they showed me was all of a sudden that image morphed, and there was this kind of a hole. It's a square grid, and the whole center of it looked like it was just an abyss. It was in shadow. And what this likely reflects with some of you is that when you get triggered by these dynamics, which could reflect some similar dynamics from childhood, that it throws you may be one of those that the way your wounds show up is that you get hypervigilant, that you'll be all over monitoring this person's energy, and it leaves you, the core center of you, empty, hollow. Not literally, but it will feel that way, and it might as well be symbolically. So we've got to get you not only looking at your situation and taking care of yourself in a new way, but also this will help this person go through what they're going through. Because any kind of connection we have is for growth, is for learning. And I think so many people look at relationships in these very shallow sort of ways. It's like, do you keep him or do you ditch him? And that is a very surface level kindergarten approach. If this person is in your life today, there's an opportunity to learn something about yourself by what this person is triggering within you. Your reactions are from your thinking and your makeup, not this person. This person likely came in to mirror some old stuff that you're learning how to handle in a more confident way. But your reactions are stemming from your gorgeous little noggin. And this is a good thing. Until we are utterly enlightened, relationship partners or bosses or family members, etc., will come in and they will mirror aspects of ourselves that we've disconnected from so that we can heal. And it's good. I know it feels like crap, but anyway. And it's so interesting. The advice here is this is normally everybody getting along and everything going well, and it's just, it's so nice. You feel a real kinship or a friendship, a connection here, because even if it's a romantic relationship, you should have a friendship as at the core. And this advice is saying, don't fix it. Don't try to happy it over. You will rob this person of what they're needing to go through. Before I threw the cards, and this is just a side note, but it popped into my mind, so maybe it's relevant for somebody, but the way I do cards is I am literally told when to stop and where to pull the cards from. So it is not a random process. So I'm always very intrigued. Every time what I'm shown before pulling cards for anyone is then mirrored identically with the cards, kind of like a little exclamation mark to prove the point that they're trying to get through. So you two are going through different things, and the process you're going to go on is going to be different than what this person needs to go on. What they showed me was a male who was sinking underground, and he was going down into this, I could feel the emotions. It was just more negative emotions. And this is coming up for this person. This is good. Especially males on this planet have been really challenged because we don't have a culture that supports them in feeling negative emotions or vulnerability. This person has to feel these things. We do not want to happy it over. This person is like this wonky little weird cup going through something that, you probably are in a much more, I want to say mature, but that can have a judgment to it. You've had opportunities to go through things that this person may just be starting to go on. And so you've got to be the one we got to get you back in your spiritual power where you can sit here and You're just hanging out watching this cup. You're not trying to fix the cup. She does not look like she's in angst trying to fix anything. She looks like, hey, I got this super weird wonky cup and I really love it and I'm okay with it. I'm accepting it as it is. And she's sitting solidly in those clear emotions around that. So while this person is going down underground into their own shadows, then finally they pop up. It's like if this were like a side view of the land, and here's the earth, the surface of the earth, and he's going down into his doom, his blech feelings. He pops up way over here. That means there's been a lot of growth, and he pops up and he was showing me himself all lit up and he was happy and he was full. His next step is feeling emotions and coming out more healed. Yours, though, is learning to turn toward yourself. Notice this woman, and they keep showing me the reference to that kind of black hole that I was shown earlier, and that coin sort of representing that, especially it's right by her solar plexus. She needs to focus on this. And since this is reverse, she's not. These exactly mirror every image that I was shown. We've got to get you upright, focused on you. If you've got a project or a business you've started or want to start, a career issue, money stuff that you need to learn about, those grounded, earthy things, we need you to just stay in your own lane. We need you to do this. We need you to just hang out here, trust that he's good. You're looking at him. He's not going anywhere. He's not running off the page. He's just got to go through his, maybe it's dark night of the soul sort of thing. Sometimes we have many of them in life. I have. So we want to get you really trusting, because likely they're showing me this wound in a little girl. So you may have this could be subconscious, precognitive sort of thing that may trigger when somebody outside of you is off. You leave yourself, you leave your desires, and you go into this hypervigilance, staring at this person. So maybe in some ways we do want this, just symbolically, you looking ahead and just he's behind you, he's coming, he'll catch up. And we want you focused on your stuff. We want to retrain your mind that when he's off, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean danger, doesn't mean he's going to leave. If he left, you're good anyway. So whatever your scenario is, again, even if it's a boss or a parent or whatever, see if you can kind of make this make sense. Don't try to make something fit if it doesn't, of course. Never do that. So silly. I've done it. It's ridiculous. Or leave a comment in the comment section, and I will definitely see if I can kind of correct or what's the word I'm looking for? Restate something that might be helpful in terms of your specific situation. But this woman, when she's reversed, she's not feeling her own pain. She's got her own suppressed stuff. These two both have, you've got emotions, anxiety, pain from your past that gets kicked up when he's like this. And you've got to feel it, because right now, subconsciously, it's not happening. You're not focused on you, and you're not feeling these emotions. And he's lost his fire. He may be really having it could be a health thing. It could be a confidence thing. It could be a getting older thing. It could be a libido thing. And that could show up as maybe a lowered sex drive, or it could be even a revved up one where he's trying to fill things with more of a sexual energy versus his real soul core fire. So the advice again is, I'm having such a hard time not just jumping straight to this because it's ridiculous that came out. Oh, and I actually pulled these cards, and then I was at another location, and then I came back to my home office, and I was like, dang, I took photos of the cards that I was told to pull. And I'm like, oh, I didn't bring this deck. Well, I actually have a duplicate deck in my office. As I was opening the box, they said bottom, just meaning look at the bottom card. It was the same damn card that I had pulled at a different location with the same, like a duplicate deck. Obviously, we have some rescue issue. If you can't see this, this is rescue. We want to, I will bet maybe a whole bunch of you, and I think most women can relate to this, you may have a bit of a rescue complex where, I don't want to call it complex, but we often, instead of dealing with our own stuff, we will rescue someone else. It keeps us from doing our own work. It keeps us enabling someone else, preventing this person from feeling their emotions. Here's the really interesting thing they showed me about this card. Well, I'm saying don't rescue this person. By not rescuing them, you are rescuing them. Does this make sense? By not swooping in and trying to happy over this person's emotions, this person gets to feel blech. This person gets to feel the pain that, and okay, so you might be thinking, well, why do we really want to feel pain? We don't want to just feel it to feel it. I mean, actually, that can be an initial step in your process. But we all had pains, and when we were really young, those pains were not accepted as okay, did not feel safe. Your parents didn't swoop in and hold your gorgeous little face in their hands and go, this is an acceptable emotion. You have every right to feel that. I love you no matter what. I don't know anybody who got that, because your parents are struggling with the same stuff you're probably struggling with. So now it's your turn. The baton has been carried. And now we've got you learning to do this so that you can be your own mother. I'm just using these cards for the images I'm seeing in my head. So that you can be your own mother and mother this hurt. So when this emotion comes up in your mind, then you are there to swoop in and hold it so that your brain rewires to go, oh, I can relax finally. I don't need to run and suppress. As my guides have told me many times, there's no problem feeling emotions. There's a big, big problem, if you will. They don't see things as problems, but they said it's very detrimental to a human to suppress emotions. And welcome to, we're just little suppression factories. So I'm right there with you. We're all doing the same work. So anyway, by not swooping in and doing this work for this person, just staying in your own lane, but being there, you're not taken off. You are learning how to go to your next step of learning unconditional love. From filling your own tank, you become this woman who's in this spiritual white gown, who can then go, oh, you know what? I remember the times when I felt these emotions. I remember what that's like. This person's just feeling this. I've been there before many times, and it's okay. I know that I have learned to realize this isn't bad. It's not dangerous. It's just a sweet little emotion that got suppressed into my subconscious, a sweet little child aspect of me, and I'm learning to love all of me, not just the happy, cute, socially acceptable parts. I love all the pain. And they're really like little archetypes, like little children that we have to reparent. And however cheesy some people might, give lip service to it, that it will be the hardest work you ever do. So yeah, just buckle up, buttercups. So, but it's wonderful. It's like the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets. Oh, and somebody's just talking in my ear. Yeah, they said, I was just correcting myself, but they said you were sounding negative about that. And it's not negative. I tend to joke a lot, and they're kind of calling me on it, as they do all the time, of not joking about the negativity of this. And I'm so grateful that they just called me on that, because this is where our culture has been so stuck. We have been so stuck in running from emotions. And this is why humans keep repeating the same cycles over and over and over. You may see within your own life. cycles over and over and over. We have to learn that the best thing in the world is when a pain comes up, because that is something that needs to be healed so that you can become this aligned, gorgeous goddess. It's not a problem. I'll repeat this as often as it comes into my mind, but I know I repeated it probably in the last video, if not the one before. Within the problem lies the solution. My guides have said that very clearly to me before. Within this pain that arises is the opportunity to finally pull these swords out and have this gorgeous healed heart for yourself and for this person and everybody else on the planet. So we want to take a look this week at the rescuer. They also said, have mindful thoughts. And I got this image. I've never done this, but I'm like, oh, hopefully I'll remember to do this myself. But they showed me somebody with a journal out, or paper or something that's, maybe on your desk, wherever you spend more time. And whenever you have a thought that might be stressful, might be more negative, might not, maybe you're focused on the news or something going on in your life that's challenging, whatever it is, or even if you're just like, ugh, my hair looks awful today. I don't care. You write it down. And what they showed me is, you just write down that thought and you tell it, you're welcome here. You are allowed to stay here on this paper with love. And so you're putting, you're honoring it and giving it a home, a place in your life, but it's just not in your freaking head to create this kind of angst, So anyway, this is very exciting. Oh, and this card was just at the bottom of the deck. Again, showing that this is definitely this person again. This could feel like you at times too, but this person, when he's upright, sometimes can be kind of stoic. That he, look at all these waves around him, and he's just on this block of concrete, and he doesn't look like he's feeling a whole lot of emotions. So it's giving that permission again. Let this person be upside down. Being upside down is an opportunity for him to see that he's got this gorgeous cup too. This is a good thing, and they need you to understand that nothing is going wrong. Your old programming says, oh my gosh, when this person's off, I go into meltdown mode. I want you really getting serious about, being not serious. Yes, that too, but curious. Oh, I notice whenever this person does XYZ or is in XYZ mood, I respond like this, because I promise you that's an old pattern. That's not, we could get 50 women, line them up, have this person act or do the same thing, and you're going to have 50 different results. So your response is yours from your pattern, and it's a gift he's giving you a gift to heal your stuff. And when you start focusing on yourself and give him space, it's going to be vice versa. It's really powerful. And I know, because they keep showing me 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The last two messages they were so, I thought, is anybody really going to listen to this? I mean, this is like big guns, sort of, at least what they were showing me, whether I expressed it clearly or not. This was like hard, this is like big, giant, spiritual, life lesson-y kind of good stuff. Now I'm understanding how it's playing out, at least for one of you, in some kind of relationship or human dynamic. And it's such an exciting time. We want you to see that every problem is not a problem at all. It's the polar opposite. You are in a secret club who finally knows that the gem of all gems is when what everybody calls a problem arises, whether it's emotion, a challenge in life. This is giving you work to do so that you become utterly unshakable. This person's all like weird and bumpy and odd shaped, and you're like, yeah, that's good. Whatever. I am good. I'm so aligned that I can be aligned with whatever crazy freaking cup lands in my lap. So, oh my gosh, I could talk about that. Oh, you know what? Okay, there's one other thing. When I was asking them, okay, what does this need to look like? They showed me these two pedestals, which I often see in relationships. So you're over here and there's a pedestal over here for the male. When I asked what your goal is, how they want you to learn to show up, is that you turned and looked. Once you were full, once you had really taken care of yourself, put your mask on first, take care of your finances, take care of your stability, take care of your career, those kind of earthy things, make sure your housing is safe, all that good stuff. I don't mean safe as in danger. I mean just, stability. That you look toward him, but immediately there was this like plexiglass sort of wall. There was a barrier, and your energy was, you were so lit up. You were glowing, but your energy couldn't go past this plexiglass or whatever this structure was. It allowed you to love him, but not take your love and try to influence his life, his mood, because most of us try to change it because actually we're the ones uncomfortable with that behavior for some reason. And we secretly are trying to happy somebody back into alignment so that we don't feel out of whack. If we just get ourselves in whack, then we won't really care. You really, truly, when you do the higher level work, you're not going to care. He's like, oh, he's in that mood. I've been there. It's fine. So you've got to learn how to keep your energy to yourself. You can love someone, but you're not here to fix them, rescue them. You're just there to be present. You're there to be the partner or the coworker or the, daughter or whatever it is. This person's job is to come down into his dark night, into his emotions, pop up the other side, and he's all glowing too for having done different types of healing. And he looks at you, having boogied himself down the road of his evolution, and he turns around and he's like, hey, and he beckons you to join him. So there's an opportunity here to have two healed people. Now, he may, if we were just looking on a spreadsheet, we might go, oh, you've done a lot more work on yourself than he has. Again, this culture has not really allowed for men to do that. So you have to just be okay with that. That's normal for a lot of situations. And I think we've got a lot of programming where it's like, oh, I need this partner to be exactly like me or as evolved as me. My guides have told me before, they're like, that's not really what you need. You can have that, but it's not what you need. And you might actually be really miserable with it. I'll talk about that in another video. So I don't get, but some things that they've taught me about what to expect with partners. And that a lot of times partners, even seemingly difficult ones, are actually dreamy partners if we can just change our perspective, stay in our own lanes, and realize what they are providing and everything else we get provided for in other parts of our life, as it kind of should be. All right. So now I want to touch on just that other reminder of, make sure that you leave a comment if it resonates. I always love to hear that. But if it doesn't, definitely leave a comment, whether it's like, this one just didn't jive with me, or here's my situation. I feel like there's something in this, but I need some clarification or something. I'm happy to try to help. So, and make sure to subscribe so then I can make sure that, because I wonder if there's a saga happening here. And I wonder if I'm going to get part 4. Because I wonder if we've got like a 5-part series going on here. And if you're called to, you may want to go back and listen to the last 2. Yeah. So, okay, so there's that. Now let me switch gears over to political sort of things. So let's just say we have a politician, a prominent one, that has a very fiery personality, meaning spontaneous, in the moment, maybe a little ADHD, and this person is out of alignment. Out of alignment, fiery people can be vindictive, can be petty, can be say profoundly inappropriate things and not really care. It's like a flame. It just flickers and moves and burns out and just it's frenetic. They can make really poor choices and it impacts people. Voila, here you are. It could be just fears, or you're already being impacted financially from decisions that certain people in certain positions or certain parties or I'm trying to find nice words. They're creating on this planet. And I'll talk to you about that sometime too. I've been getting channeling about this for many years. And on the surface, it feels like a dumpster fire, but it's actually to heal the collective. And if you're interested in that, nudge me and I'll do that video sooner than later. But I'm sure it'll come up because it's going to impact a lot of people's lives in the coming years. So here we don't have an ability to do anything to support this person directly. We've got to get you really, again, focused on your stability. What have you put off? What ideas, maybe it's money. Maybe you're needing to save more. Really read books about the emotional wounds we can have that can impact how we relate to money. It could be housing. It could be career. It could be a business you have, business you want to start. Those kind of tangible things. I want you to really focus on you to find ways to create support when the world may feel not supportive, not friendly, some not on your side. Because notice she's kind of pinned in between these energies. We have to trust that the collective is going to go through not a fun time, collectively. This is, again, similar message, but shadow work, if you will. It's just a way to sum up feeling your emotions and learning how to relate to them with kindness and compassion. We've just got to be prepared that that's okay. And again, the same messages apply of we want to get to this. Now, if you're like, well, how do I get to it? Please let me know. I'm happy to just do trainings on this. And I've got a program coming up where we'll talk about that in depth. And some free goodies some little tools that can help you start to process these things and do that inner strengthening, because we want to be where the world can do whatever it collectively needs to do to heal, and that you and I and all the rest of us can just sit here, just cool as cucumbers, beautiful, calm, knowing that there's something spiritual, wonky, but spiritually ordained here, if you will, that needs to happen for other people who haven't had a chance to heal. Again, it's like this person reflects a lot of people in the collective that have been running from their pain and running from their emotions. Humans have just been doing that and handing it down from generation to generation. We want to not rescue them, we want to rescue us. Because through doing that, you will be able to rescue people more, if you will, if we're going to use that word. Where what they will need is somebody calm in the midst of a storm. Somebody who will love them even when they're at their worst. As my guide said, and maybe I've mentioned this before, but maybe a month or so ago, 6 weeks ago, they said, love everyone. And I knew what that meant. I needed to learn to love politicians that my ego may profoundly disagree with, and I may have my own triggers around. That we have to look inside, no matter what side of any kind of situation or politics or religion or race or whatever that we're on, we have to look at what bubbles up within us. That is ours to heal. They aren't making us feel that. And I know it looks like it. And I almost, my ego's like, ugh. I can get my panties in a twist just as much as anybody. But I also know enough and have beings talking in my head, calling me on stuff 24/7 that, that is kind of helps. So this person reflects the collective. And what they're showing me is that this is a kind of the hand of God coming down here. And not only is this being watched over by the divine in big, giant ways, but it also shows that these people are disconnected from true faith, not a religion faith, not a book, but truly trusting and surrendering into, I have done so much of my inner work. I know I'm an eternal being. I know I am love innately, and I can be there for humans who haven't come to that realization that they are just like me. So that's like a little more on the higher end, bigger picture sort of spiritual growth that a lot of us are going to go through. And even if you're on that path, I want to encourage people. We want to do that inner work before challenges happen, ideally. That's not usually the way it happens. Usually we suppress it, and then the shit hits the fan, and and then it just feels awful. But any emotions that rise to the surface, again, the solution is within every problem. So when collectively people are out of whack, it's a good thing happening because they're going through what you are consciously trying to learn to go through, where you're consciously trying to work with this with love and tenderness, if that makes sense. So while I could go on about this for like 12 more hours, I won't. But I hope this helps. I hope this gave you some inspiration as my guides are here nudging me. They want you staying positive. They want you to realize, as they're patiently reminding me endlessly, and I'll vicariously remind you, everything innately is love. Everything innately is good and holy. It's only our perspectives that create this. It's thoughts and beliefs. And as we learn about these beliefs and these thoughts, these swords are released, then, you're just this gorgeous heart floating in the heavens. And you're really untouchable, unstoppable, as I like to say. So rescue yourself. Trust that rescuing yourself is the way to rescue others, because most of us are, as women, we're the wounded healer. We're going to rescue everybody else, trying to make our environment safe and calm so that we can relax. Well, that's codependence. That's not real strength, because the minute your environment gets wonky again, you're right back to, oh my God, I got to fix this guy. So we want you in this state. When you've rescued yourself, you are a shining light. If people are open, and if there's a partner that's very close to you like this person is going to see that energy. They're going to get a retraining of their subconscious mind by finally being around someone who's truly unconditional, because almost nobody is. We really should stop using the word love the way we use it, because almost never when we use it are we meaning love, like unconditional love. We're usually talking agreements or codependence or like what am I thinking the word? Exchanges or like transactions. I love you as long as you love me. I love you as long as you behave. So this is so exciting. And I do feel like I'm in the middle of some kind of soap opera, and I am really eager to see what what comes next week. I hope you are too. All right, I'm sending you so much love. Please make sure to subscribe. I would love to hang out with you guys more, and leave comments. I would love to hear what's going on in your life. What are you challenged with? What are the things that are arising in you, the triggers that are within you? And trust me, if it's a struggle, that's okay. It's a struggle. I mean, I've been teaching this stuff for decades, and it still comes up for me. That's normal. The mind is a giant computer filled with a whole bunch of incorrect thoughts. So together we're teaming up, and we're going to remind each other, and we're going to do this work, and baby step by baby step, we are going to get here, all of us. You've got this, truly. So much love from my team, from your team, from me, and I can't wait for next week. All right. Love you guys. Bye.